Have you ever had that gut feeling a girl is messing with your mind? It's a common thing, though not always easy to spot. Mind you, both men and women play these mind games, sure. But, you know what? Some women seem born for it, like it's just another day at the mall or a chat over the fence. When a girl meets a guy, it often seems like her default mode is to play mind games and test his limits. It's true. I mean, I've been there more times than I can recall. Seriously. There was this girl I was dating, Betty. She used to drive me up the wall, constantly pushing my buttons and testing my boundaries. I'd call her batshit Betty for how crazy she was. How crazy, you ask? Well, for one, she'd be texting these other guys she claimed were just buddies, telling me not to think too much. And that's not all. Sometimes she'd leave my texts on read for hours, even days. But the worst was when Betty would agree to a date and then flake. Why was she doing this? It felt like she got a kick out of messing with my head. But why? Does every girl find pleasure in torturing us guys? Luckily for me, I found wisdom in a small community of guys who have already figured women out. It's the Shogun Method Brotherhood, but I'm not here to tell you how great Shogun Method is. Before my life as a Shogun, I've always been a nice guy. I gave flowers and chocolates and took them to fancy dinners. But all I got at the end of each date was a pair of blue balls. I thought if I was nice to women, they'd love me back. Now I slap my forehead whenever I recall the foolishness of those days. As my brothers in the Shogun Method community told me, we all want shit we can't get. And, you know what? Women are even worse. Once they get something, it becomes worthless. You're a worthless junk to her, because she no longer has to work for you. When I heard that, it hurt me so much, and yet I knew it was true. But here's the thing. Despite her faults and an outsized butt, I still loved and wanted Betty. Her tits are perky, and she looks really cute in an apron. And, to top everything, she's fabulous with kids, and my nephew Jonathan loves her silly jokes. Batshit crazy Betty can be bubbly charmer Betty when she wants to. And so, here's how I turned things around. With an age-old hypnosis trick Shoguns call fractionation. It's the go-to tactic that hypnotists use to put their subjects under deep trance. Now, you might say, hold on there. Are you saying I should put her under hypnosis? The answer to that question is yes. Here's how to out-manipulate a manipulative girl. Hypnotize her and put her under your control. Remember, you've got to fight fire with fire. The best way to beat a girl in her own manipulative game is to use hypnosis. Few know this, but almost everyone influential knows and uses fractionation. Politicians, CEOs, billionaire entrepreneurs, and religious leaders use fractionation every day, but they shut up about it because they don't want people to know. Naturally, these people are pissed at us for teaching fractionation, but we don't give a shit. I want this knowledge everywhere because it gives the power back to the masses. You can even enroll in a fractionation class for free at fractionationhypnosis.com. I'll keep it online until they shut us down. Now, despite its exotic-sounding name, fractionation is actually quite straightforward. In fact, it's just a fancy word for telling stories. All you need to fractionate a woman is to tell her a story. It's that easy. But why storytelling? Well, as you should know, you can't be direct with a manipulative girl. I mean, it's silly to tell her outright you're going to be manipulating her back, right? You must be as covert as you can so she doesn't catch what you're doing. And guess what? The best way to do this is to tell her a story. The clever thing about stories is that they shut the rational mind down completely. When she's distracted by your story, you can implant thoughts into her mind subconsciously. That's the power of fractionation. You'll bypass her conscious mind and access her subconscious with a hypnotic story. And here's the kicker. Fractionation stories work on any woman. It doesn't make a difference if she's your long-term lover or a gal you met at the corner cafe. Fractionation sparks such emotional intensity that she can't help but to think about you, day in and day out. Now, back to batshit Betty. So what I did was to craft a fractionation story and texted it to her. Let me tell you, man, I had never seen such an explosive reaction from a girl. And true to form, batshit Betty went batshit. Quick responses, a barrage of messages. She called, but I hung up. Then she called again, and again. I couldn't help but chuckle like a madman. It was oddly satisfying. The mind games came to a screeching halt that very same day. Now all it takes is a text with a fractionation script, and Betty's at my doorstep with her best behavior. Another fractionation story, and she's in the kitchen in my favorite apron. This little technique is so potent that it makes me feel like a baddie wielding some dark power. I admit, I do feel guilty now and then, but who cares? I am loving it, and I won't make apologies for it. The question is, how do you go about telling a fractionation story? The story itself can be simple, but creating and delivering it effectively can be a bit tricky. And so here's what we did. The Shogun Method team has recorded a masterclass where they teach the tactic its full glory. All you need to do is to sign up at fractionation.org and you'll get a free pass to the masterclass. Now, here's the bottom line. If you're dealing with a manipulative girl and you want an upper hand, fractionation is the answer. With Shogun Method, you'll gain the advantage in seduction you've always desired. Some girls are manipulative, but with fractionation, you can out-manipulate them back with a vengeance. Remember, some women are batshit manipulative, and fractionation is your weapon to fight back. Learn fractionation in our masterclass. To sign up, click the link in the video description or comments section below, or visit this site, fractionation.org.